is the one who sparks the imagination. He is the one who brings lifeless to life. And he is the one who portrays his stories of yore and of modern times. All this enchantment happens with unseen hands. Dear viewers, let me tell you a story. Once Shiva Parvati, when they were living in the abode of Kailash, there was an artisan who brought two wooden dolls, and that caught the attention of Parvati. Parvati was so mesmerized with the dolls, she said to Shiva, "Let's enter these dolls and perform the dance." So they danced, and they danced exquisitely. And after some time, they got sick of dancing and they left the dolls. The artisan became very sad, and again he could see the lifeless dolls. So he took some strings, tied it to those dolls, and then started moving the dolls, giving them dialogues, and that's how puppetry started. So today, Spark Igniting Minds, which showcases culture, entrepreneurship, literature, and storytelling, is presenting you a Sutradhar and the master of puppeteer, Mr. Srinivas. Welcome, Srinivas, to the show. We are proud to have you here. Mr. Srinivas is the director of Rangaputhali, and he has a passion to bring the old form of art, to revive the old form of art and bring it to life. This is a forgotten art, and he is working on it so that it reaches the masses. Welcome, Srinivas. We are proud to have you here. I have seen many professions in my career. There are doctors, scientists, and there are leaders, politicians, and so many other professions people choose. But you have chosen a very unique profession, that is puppetry. And I'm amazed that you have given 7,000 shows all over the globe. And what made you choose this profession, and what is the essence of puppetry, and how does it impact the world?
Thank you, Mr. Firstly, I must thankful to my father, Sri Ranganath, who is known as the Master Puppeteer of India. I learned this real art from him only. Uh, because, as per your question, because what ignite me to take up this art is, according to certain sources, India has a great culture of puppetry, and also about 4,000 years ago, the puppetry was still continuing its own contribution to the society. If you see Ramayana or even Mahabharata or even the dynasty of Raja Vikramaditya, we can able to see the puppetry form, many puppetry forms. According to one source, there were about nearly 3,000 teams were there in India. But start downfall by downfalling the slowly and everything, it has come into the extent about nearly 400 or 500 teams. When I took up this art form in the year of 1997, after my completion of my graduation. There are over nearly 400 teams were there in India, and that too, this kind of a rod cum string puppetry, which is having its own uniqueness and also its own what you call the importance to the society. So it considering those points and everything, I had taken it. And also to tell more about this rod cum string puppetry, we have got only two teams in India who perform this kind of rod cum string puppetry.
That is amazing. Yeah.
Because if you see into some of the puppetry, there are four forms of puppetry, like the rod puppetry, string puppetry, leather puppetry,
Yes.
and glow puppetry, which is known as like education puppetry.
Okay.
But when you come to this part, particularly this art form, which is known as rod cum string puppetry, which is having the rod as well as the strings as well to manipulate the heavyweight puppet of about 10 to 12 kg. These puppets are made up of wood, and also the context and everything, and also particularly the complexion of the face or even for the dress and everything, which looks lively, which looks like a lively character. I don't say actually it's a kind of a vanishing art or something like that. It's a rare art form. When about nearly 4,000 teams were there in India, now we can able to find about nearly 400 less than 300 teams and everything, which it started igniting me. No, no, I have to take up this art form. So I have to do something to the society by through this art only. So that's what actually I have taken this.
Yes, Mr. Srinivas, you can do a lot through this art. That's what I strongly feel. So, during the perseverance of this puppetry in your life, because this is a family tradition that you have got from your father, forefathers, and things like that. So, you must have seen a lot of ups and downs in this profession. So, can you relate one experience where you were really having hard times and you took it up as a passion and really wanted to revive? And then, can you relate one of your experiences where you could tell about your hardships and
Sure,
then how you got over?
sure. See, when I have started my puppetry career in 1987, after taking the proper knowledge with my father and everything. So earlier, my father used to do only for the mythological part. When most of the audience and also most of the audience taste and everything, it was concentrating only on the mythological part. But after some times, actually, they keep on telling that no, no, already I have seen this story. Why don't you come up with a new thing? It was a major challenge to us because by making use of the same puppets, so even we got succeeded in that one also. The same journey had continued for many more days and all. So then we thought that one, why can't we do the same thing, like by introducing the some new stories into this one, by adopting some new stories, which is more related to the more closer to the audience. Okay. So in that concept only, we have come up with a new stories like other than the mythological stories like Sri Krishna Parajata, Narkasura, Ramayana and everything. We have started Swami Vivekananda. And proudly I can tell that one we are the first to introduce Swami Vivekananda puppet show in India by making use of rod cum string puppetry. Very nice. So you haven't restricted your puppetry to only legendary characters, historical characters, and mythological characters. You have thought of the contemporary audience and the modern audience, and you have tried innovative methods. That is a strong point, and we'll have to really appreciate on that. And coming to what other innovations can you bring in the puppetry as now we can, because in this modern era you can see a lot of things happening. Maybe you can bring political satire into the puppetry, or what other innovation or what other kinds of stories you can just incorporate into puppetry. Yeah, coming to this question, I'd like to say that from no doubt, actually, we have started using some contemporary style puppetry. Apart from that, even though we have not left out the traditional blend what we are using. Yes. So, particularly these type of puppets are known as a mudrika style puppets as well. Okay. Because the hands and everything, it is being carved in such a way, in a specialized manner, which is known as chin mudra in most of the dance forms and also in yoga form. Okay. So further, the two iron rods are being connected to that one, and by holding the rods and three strings which are connected to the heads of the puppet, we manipulate. So we have not left out the tradition, but we have come up with a new thing, like by introducing Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda is a very innovative thing that you have brought into the puppetry. Yeah, that is it's a new challenge. Yes. See, now normally what happens is if we look into any kind of mythological story or even for some historical story, and everything. Most of the people, they may know the story.
Yes.
But as when we taken this thing, particularly for the Swami Vivekananda or any other thing or something like that, so what happens is actually people will be curious to know that what all they have covered, what are the things we can be able to know, and what are the things we can learn from the puppetry and everything.
What I see is when I told you the story about the lifeless dolls, okay, coming into life, I can see a lot of life in your dolls.
True.
They're so pretty and they're so charming, and really, it really attracts the audience. So, how do you make these dolls so full of life, and what are the other aspects that you incorporate to make it more lively and to play the characters as a real character?
Okay. So for this, earlier you can just see that from earlier the puppets were being carved with the hand tools and everything. Now we have started making use of them by making use of the mold. Okay. In addition to this one, the attire and everything, it has to be it has to match with the same particular character of the characteristics according to the characteristics. See, that is one challenge. The next one is actually when we are choosing the storyline, what are the story and what all it has to be covered with, and also what we do have some limitation in the stage part and everything. Right. According to that one, we have to fix those limitations, and we have to be bound to that limitation only. Right. See, our stage is nearly about 12 feet, right. And also this puppet weighs about 200 to 2.5 feet. Okay. So in that one, the audience should get a good impact about that one. They should be having the visual treat. Okay. So considering those things and everything, we have started introducing the attire, the storyline, for that the literature and good music and everything we have started.
Yeah, that is, I mean, puppetry, I think it involves a lot of collaboration. You True. Have to bring in musicians, you have to bring in script writers, you have to bring in somebody who can make the dolls, dress them up. And there's a lot of, I mean, it is a teamwork.
Yeah, it's a kind of a team.
It's a teamwork, I can say. And I mean, you have traveled all over the globe and given so many shows. With this, I think you have garnered a lot of experience in puppetry. And you also said the stage, I mean, which is it is a constraint.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a very smaller stage and you have to bring in some large characters. And with these smaller spaces and going across the globe, how do you manage? Did you have any kind of problems carrying these dolls to different countries and in different kind of spaces? How did you adapt to those?
Firstly, actually, the puppets in itself, it can be carried to anywhere because it's not the thing. But one thing is what the challenge and what the hurdle what we are having is taking these rods and also the particular for the stage materials. I mean to say. Even for the setting up the stage itself, it is very innovatively we have done it. So within a span of 20 minutes, we can set up the whole stage, and also within a span of 10 to 15 minutes, we can just dismantle it. Okay. So by keeping these minds and everything, we have started innovative. We have worked out that one. So even for that also, the entire stage it can be taken in a small bag.
Okay.
The
stage can be carried.
Yes, of course.
That's wonderful.
It can be carried with a small cab or something like that, so that with the help of that one only we have traveled to many places. That is one thing.
Okay.
Because normally what happens is even for no doubt actually the stage weight itself it's about nearly 70 to 80 kg. Why we have kept that much of a bigger stage or something like that to hold these puppets of about 10 to 12 kg. In addition to the puppeteer who is of approximately after 70 to 75 kg who performs that one, it has both the thing it has to hold that one.
Right.
So considering those matter and everything, we have kept the stage of about nearly 70 to 80 kg. Okay. So even for the assembling and disassembling, we take about nearly 20 minutes for the assembling the stage and dismantling for about 10 minutes.
Right.
So it's an innovative way because actually we don't have.
I think you have worked a lot over
Absolutely.
all these things. Whatever the constraints were there, you have tried to minimize it.
Yeah, minimize the time and also we
brought in new technologies.
anyone else as well.
So, Srinivas, which all countries have you visited, and how was the response from the foreign audience as far as the puppetry is concerned? Because it is very, very attractive. I think they also must have felt that.
Yes.
Yes.
From my father's time, actually, it was the when we have started introduced the first Yakshagana-based puppetry play, that's Narkasarvada. We have given it in Japan. During that time, actually, Rangaputhali Puppeteers was honored as the best traditional team from India.
Okay.
Okay, so even they in Japan also they could not able to follow the language. Well, most of our plays which will be in Kannada, but before that we can narrate the story in English. So even they enjoyed it very much,
Okay.
and with a great applause and everything. Then followed by that one Poland and Austria and also in many parts in US, and also my father was a visiting professor in Switzerland for more than 8 years in Geneva Puppet Museum and all.
Okay.
So apart from that one Austria and everything we have traveled most of the European countries.
And usually the foreign audience get attracted by our historical mythological stories.
Yes, of course.
Because yes, that is one thing that I have seen. But for Indian audience, if you can bring some of the, because most of the stories are known here, but if you can bring some of the stories which are untold stories or which are very rare, even in the even if you take history or mythology, there are some stories which are very rare. Nobody knows that Sita was the daughter of Ravana. So such kind of stories, if you can incorporate into your puppetry, I think people will love to.
Definitely.
This is my one recommendation. If you can take it.
Definitely
Okay.
will start.
So other than that, I have seen these days we are in a technological era. I mean, the science and technology is improving so much that somewhere we are losing the humanity connection. So, how do you connect puppetry with humanity?
That is what, because one thing I can tell you that one today's what are the technical innovations are there, whether it is for animation or whatever it is, the base is the puppetry itself.
Okay.
I can tell you that one. Even and what all the animation or graphics or whatever it is, the base, because it comes with a drawing or even for the kind of a sculpture or whatever it is based on that one. So puppetry, which is having it drawing as well as the sculpture, it's a mixture of both the things. In addition to this one, it has got a music, it has got a literature, it has got some good music and songs and everything, and also theatre background. So altogether, all this thing it will be having. So we are taking it forward to reach out to the many people, and by telling the values of the human values and also the moral values to the society and also the audience. So by making use of this kind of puppets, why we have done apart, no doubt actually in many mythological stories and also they do have some values.
Yeah.
But even if we take out for Narkasura, which we perform, most of the people they may not know that one. Why do we celebrate Deepavali?
Yeah.
Okay, why do we celebrate Deepavali? So the killing of Narkasura by Lord Krishna, it's a main essence of that one. Even the puppets can tell the story and the importance of that one, what all it has been in our history or even whatever it is in our tradition.
Yeah, the goodness
It
over
can be-
evil.
yes.
That is the message that
It can
the
reveal those things.
Narakasura Vada gives to the audience. So
That's the importance of the
yeah.
festival.
That's how we connect
Yes.
the humanity with the puppetry.
Yes.
And a lot to learn from these stories.
That is what we take this kind of a concepted stories only, like Narkasura or even for Ramayana.
Right.
In many parts, and also even for Bhakta Markandeya also,
Okay.
which tells about the value of a devotion and everything, even for the immortal thing and everything. So most of the people they know that one, because why most of the people they see they must have seen it in many medias and all, but one thing is that they must have ignored it. Just by tapping them by the stories and everything that they can read,
revoke it once again.
I agree with you, Srinivas, because in today's era, we cannot only concentrate on science, technology. The human values, the moral values is very important and very much required in today's society. And through your puppetry, through your mythological and all historical stories, and also the innovative stories like you have selected Vivekananda, that's again a one very good thing is youth icon of India. So you have chosen a wonderful topic for your puppetry, and I really appreciate that. And it was very interesting conversation. And now viewers, Srinivas is a very appreciable persona, I can say. And talking to him, I gathered a lot of lessons. Like one is uniqueness. Okay, we have to embrace uniqueness. This is a unique art, and we have got unique characters. And we human beings are also very unique. We are all different. We have got different talents in us. So this is one thing we'll have to adopt. And the second thing is the teamwork. The puppetry show doesn't happen with one person. It is not a one-man army show, but it is a lot of people should come together, and then such beautiful shows can be organized. And the third lesson that we can take from this interview is we have to ignite our imaginations. In the beginning, I started with that. So we have to a lot of imagination, because since they have brought Vivekananda now, that is a lot of imagination that has gone behind, and that's how they were so innovative to bring in such kind of characters, and also when I was a small child, maybe around 7th standard, somebody taught me puppetry. Okay, and that time it was finger. We were manipulating puppets with fingers.
Finger puppets.
Okay, and then I have also heard of sock puppetry.
Okay.
And now this is a very unique method that you have brought, rod and string. This which is a very new kind of a thing. And thank you, Srinivas, for a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
Viewers, we had a wonderful conversation with the master. You heard so many things from our master puppeteer, and I also recommend him for since he has done 7,000 shows. I recommend him for the Book of India records, because he must be the only one Indian who has given several shows. Must be the highest in India. If you like this show, please like, share, and comment. You can write to us on spark19@gmail.com. Thank you.